Have you ever found yourself endlessly checking your phone, waiting for her to reply? Have you ever stared at a message you sent, only to see no response, or worse, a cold, empty answer that says nothing at all? It hurts. It eats at you. And in that pain, you start questioning your own worth. This is where countless men lose themselves. They fall into the trap of chasing someone who doesn't even care whether they exist or not. And let me tell you this, that pain you feel, that emptiness, is not love. It's slavery. It is the chain of attachment, binding your self-worth to the approval of someone who has already decided you don't matter to her. Today, we're going to destroy that chain, not with bitterness, not with hate, but with the wisdom of Stoicism. Because the truth is this, no woman, no relationship, no person outside of yourself should ever hold the keys to your peace of mind. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Think about that for a moment. You have power over your mind, not over her feelings, not over her choices, not over her interest in you. That is her domain, not yours. But here's the trap most men fall into. They think if they text the right way, say the right thing, show up at the right time, maybe, just maybe, she will see their value. But my brother, if a woman cannot already see your value, no amount of effort will convince her. In fact, the more you chase, the less value you appear to have. This is the hard truth. The more you cling to someone who doesn't want you, the weaker you become. And here's where Stoicism steps in like a sword cutting through the fog. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, said this, "When someone shows you who they are, do not wish for them to be different. Accept them as they are, or move on." She has shown you who she island. She has shown you that she doesn't desire you, doesn't prioritize you, doesn't respect the energy you give. So why do you still cling? Let's dig deeper. The first step in detaching yourself is to understand the nature of desire itself. You desire her. You think about her. You imagine how things could be if she only gave you a chance. But what is desire? It is nothing more than a thought, a flame, that grows the more you feed it. If you starve that flame, it dies. The Stoics were masters of this truth. They believe that suffering comes not from what happens to us, but from how we choose to think about it. You suffer not because she doesn't want you. You suffer because you have convinced yourself that without her, you are less of a man. Let me tell you something. You are not less of a man. You are not incomplete. You are not broken because one woman does not see your worth. Seneca, the great Roman Stoic, once said, "He who is brave is free." And freedom begins when you let go of the chains that bind you. The chain of needing her approval. The chain of waiting for her reply. The chain of believing her love will complete you. Freedom comes when you stand tall and declare, "I will not beg for affection. I will not beg for attention. I will not reduce myself to crumbs just to feel noticed." Here's the brutal reality. A woman who doesn't want you is doing you a favor. Yes, a favor. She is showing you clearly where you should not invest your energy. She is saving you from wasting years of your life chasing a ghost. So the first principle of detachment is this: accept reality without resistance. Don't twist it. Don't try to rewrite it. Don't fantasize about what it could be. See it for what it is. She is not interested. And once you accept that, you gain clarity. You can redirect your energy from obsession to growth. Think of it this way. Every hour you spend thinking about her is an hour you are not building yourself. Every day you wait for her message is a day you do not use to build your body, your mind, your future. Why trade your life, your one precious life, for someone who wouldn't even trade you a smile? The Stoics remind us that time is the most precious resource we have. Seneca wrote on the shortness of life, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." And many men waste their lives waiting for women who never cared in the first place. Don't let that be you. Instead, make this your mantra. If she doesn't want me, she doesn't deserve me. Repeat it until it sinks into your bones. You are not a beggar at the door of her attention. You are a man walking his own path, and she is either welcome to join or free to leave. In this first part of our journey, I want you to sit with this truth. Chasing a woman who doesn't want you is the fastest way to lose yourself. Detachment is not about cruelty. It's not about punishing her. It's about reclaiming your freedom. And when you reclaim your freedom, you reclaim your strength. So pause for a moment and reflect. Where are you giving away your power? Who are you chasing that drains your soul? And more importantly, are you ready to walk away? Because walking away is not weakness. Walking away is strength. Walking away is the beginning of becoming the man you were meant to be. Imagine this. You wake up in the morning, and the first thing you do is check your phone. Your mind is hoping maybe she texted you. Maybe she realized she made a mistake. Maybe she finally sees your worth. But the screen is empty. No notification, no message, nothing. This cycle, repeated day after day, eats away at your energy, your dignity, and your peace of mind. It traps you in an invisible prison where her attention, or the lack of it, dictates your mood, your confidence, and even your sense of identity. The Stoics would tell us you have given away your power. You have placed your happiness in the hands of someone who doesn't even want to hold it. And so, the first and most painful yet liberating step is this. Cut contact. Not out of hate, not out of revenge, but out of self-respect. Seneca once wrote, "You act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire." What does this mean? It means we fear pain as if we will live forever, but we chase pleasures and people as if we will never die. When a woman shows you clearly that she doesn't like you, clinging to her is not love. It is self-deception. Cutting contact is like removing a splinter. At first, it hurts. Your skin resists. Your body fears the sting. But once it's out, the healing begins. Every text you don't send, every message you don't write, every late-night impulse you control, that is a victory. That is you reclaiming yourself. But let's be clear. Cutting contact isn't just about blocking her number or avoiding her social media. It is about detaching your emotional energy from her completely. That means stop replaying her words in your head. Stop imagining what-if scenarios. Stop seeking closure from someone who already closed the door. Marcus Aurelius said, "The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have." Holding on to someone who doesn't want to hold on to you is the ultimate example of valuing what you cannot control. And the price? Your freedom. Now, some men fear cutting contact because they think it makes them look weak. They believe if they stay present, keep texting, keep showing care, maybe, just maybe, she will change her mind. But listen carefully. Nothing is weaker than refusing to walk away from someone who clearly doesn't value you. Real strength is not in chasing. It is in mastering your impulses, even when your heart screams otherwise. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It doesn't mean you're bitter. It means you're choosing peace over chaos. It means you're investing your energy into building a life so full, so powerful, that the absence of one woman cannot destroy you. Think of a king. Does a king beg for the approval of someone who refuses his presence? No. A king withdraws his attention. He guards his time. He knows that his worth is not dependent on the whims of another. That is how you must see yourself, not as a beggar of affection, but as the ruler of your own domain. And here's the paradox. When you cut contact, when you truly let go, you regain a magnetic power. You stop radiating neediness, and you start radiating strength. Some women may even return when they sense your indifference, but by then, you will have grown so much that her opinion no longer controls you. So I challenge you, today, not tomorrow, not next week, today make the decision to cut contact. Delete the chat. Stop checking her online status. Free your mind. Every second you give her undeserved space in your thoughts is a second you are stealing from your own growth. This is not just about her. This is about you reclaiming the throne of your own life. And once you've taken that step, once you've let go, you will discover a strange silence. At first, it feels empty, but slowly, that silence becomes space. Space for healing, space for discipline, space for rediscovering who you are when you're not orbiting around someone who doesn't want you. Remember, detachment is not loss, it is freedom. So you've cut contact. You've stopped chasing. The silence is there. But now comes the real test. What do you do with that silence? Most men make a mistake here. They think detachment is just about ignoring her, but that's only half the journey. The deeper part is this: reclaiming yourself, your self-worth, your masculine identity, your essence as a man. Because if you walk away, but inside you still feel broken, unworthy, and empty, then she still has power over you. You've left her physically, but she still lives rent-free in your mind. Let's go back to Marcus Aurelius. He wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. When your thoughts are filled with self-doubt, with comparison, with the endless echo of, 'Why didn't she choose me?' then your happiness will always be fragile." But here's the truth. A woman's rejection does not define your worth as a man. Think of a diamond. Does a diamond lose its value because one person refuses to buy it? Does gold become worthless because one merchant turns it down? Of course not. Its value is intrinsic, unshaken, eternal. The same is true of you. Your worth is not in her validation. Your worth is in your ability to master yourself, to build, to lead, to create, to endure, to grow. A man who knows his own worth is unshakable. He doesn't crumble when one person rejects him because he knows he is more than someone's passing preference. Epictetus taught, "You are a little soul carrying around a corpse. Harsh words, but they carry truth. Life is short. Your body will fade. Your time is precious." Are you truly going to spend these fleeting days chasing someone who has already turned away? Or will you rise, reclaim your spirit, and walk with dignity? To reclaim your self-worth, you must first stop asking the wrong questions. Stop asking, "Why doesn't she like me?" Stop asking, "What's wrong with me?" Stop asking, "How can I make her see my value?" These are the questions of a man who has forgotten his power. The real questions are, what can I build today? How can I strengthen my mind and body? How can I live with such purpose and discipline that rejection becomes irrelevant? Rejection can be your greatest teacher. It forces you to look inward, to sharpen your edges, to rediscover your mission. A man with no mission is lost. He drifts, he clings, he becomes desperate. But a man with a mission is unstoppable. He attracts respect, not by begging for it, but by embodying it. Let me tell you a truth that few men realize. Women do not define masculinity. Discipline does. Your ability to command yourself, to rise at dawn, to train your body, to master your mind, to endure hardship, this is what makes you a man of value. Not her attention, not her approval. Imagine yourself 5 years from now. Will you look back and regret wasting months, maybe years, obsessing over a woman who didn't want you? Or will you look back proud, knowing that her rejection was the spark that forced you to rise, to transform, to become unrecognizable in your strength? Seneca once wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Don't waste your time chasing ghosts. Don't waste your years begging for crumbs of affection. Take that energy and redirect it into yourself. Rebuild your masculine identity step by step, through discipline in your habits, through control over your emotions, through building skills that sharpen your mind, through physical strength that reflects inner strength, through silence that speaks louder than begging ever could. Every rep in the gym, every book you read, every goal you achieve. It's not just self-improvement. It is you reclaiming your throne. It is you saying to yourself, "I am enough. I am more than enough. And here's the beauty. Once you embody this truth, once you truly live it, you stop needing her or anyone else to confirm your value. You walk into a room with quiet confidence, and people feel it. You carry yourself with dignity, and it commands respect without a single word. Remember this: reclaiming your self-worth is not about proving her wrong. It's about proving yourself right. You are not defined by rejection. You are defined by resilience. By now, you've cut contact. You've begun reclaiming your self-worth. But self-worth must be built upon something solid, something unshakable. Otherwise, the winds of life will knock you down again. That foundation, my friend, is discipline and independence. Discipline is the silent force that separates the weak from the strong, the ordinary from the extraordinary, the distracted from the focused. Independence is its brother, the state of not relying on another person for your happiness, stability, or purpose. Let's begin with discipline. Marcus Aurelius rose before dawn every morning to write his Meditations, reminding himself of duty, of mortality, of virtue. Do you think he wanted to? No. He often admitted he didn't. But he did it anyway. Why? Because he understood that discipline is not about desire. It's about alignment with your higher self. When you wake up, do you roll over, scroll through your phone, and drown in meaningless distraction? Or do you rise, train your body, sharpen your mind, and begin your day with intention? One path leads to weakness, the other to strength. Seneca said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." True freedom doesn't come from doing whatever you feel like it. Comes from doing what you must, even when you don't feel like it. Now, let's connect this to detachment. When you lack discipline, you become dependent. You depend on her texts to feel happy. You depend on her presence to feel whole. You depend on others to validate your existence. But when you cultivate discipline, you reverse this. You create a life so structured, so intentional, that no single person can disturb its flow. Picture this. You wake early, not because someone tells you to, but because you command yourself. You train your body, because strength reflects your inner order. You feed your mind with wisdom, philosophy, and skills that no rejection can take away. You work toward goals that light a fire in you, whether anyone else sees it or not. This is how you build independence, not by avoiding people, but by becoming whole within yourself. Think about Epictetus. He was born a slave, beaten, crippled, yet he became one of the greatest Stoic teachers in history. How? By realizing that though others could chain his body, they could never chain his mind. That is independence. And here's the truth many men don't want to hear. Independence requires sacrifice. It means giving up the comfort of distractions. It means walking away from endless entertainment, from shallow pleasures, from anything that numbs your growth. Because every time you indulge in weakness, you strengthen your chains. But every time you choose discipline, you sharpen your sword. Ask yourself, what would your life look like if you committed fully to discipline? Not halfway, not when it's convenient, but truly. How much stronger, wiser, wealthier, freer would you be in 6 months? In a year? In 5 years? Now imagine this. The next time a woman rejects you, you don't crumble, you don't chase, you don't even flinch. Why? Because your life is already full. Your day is already packed with growth, with creation, with purpose. You don't need her. You may want her, but there's a difference between desire and dependence. Desire makes you human. Dependence makes you weak. A disciplined man is dangerous, not because he threatens others, but because he cannot be controlled. Society cannot distract him. Rejection cannot break him. A woman cannot manipulate him. He moves with direction, not desperation. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is the essence of discipline and independence. The events outside you, her rejection, her indifference, are irrelevant. What matters is whether your mind remains sovereign. So here's your mission. Build routines that keep you sharp. Guard your time like a king guards his throne. Train your body, not for vanity, but for mastery. Learn skills that make you valuable to the world. Live each day as if it is your duty to your higher self. Because at the end of the day, the strongest form of attraction is not chasing it, is living such a disciplined and independent life that others are drawn to you naturally. And if they're not, you still win. Because your value is not borrowed, it is built. Remember, discipline is freedom, and independence is power. Let's be honest. No matter how much we talk about discipline, no matter how much we speak of self-worth, there is still pain. Rejection hurts. Being ignored hurts. Watching someone you wanted slip away, it cuts deeply. But here is the great secret of Stoicism. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your teacher. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment." Think about that. The rejection didn't actually wound you. It was the meaning you gave to it. You interpreted it as, "I'm not good enough. I'm unworthy. I've lost something." But the truth is, you lost nothing that was truly yours. Her affection was never yours to control. What is yours is your response, your interpretation, your ability to transform pain into power. This is where emotional detachment enters. Detachment doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you stop clinging. You allow yourself to experience the sting of rejection without letting it define your identity. You let the emotion rise, and then you release it. Picture a burning coal. If you grip it tightly, it burns you. If you let it rest in your hand for a moment, acknowledge its heat, and then drop it, you are free. This is how you must handle pain. Acknowledge it, accept it, then release it. But here's where many men stumble. Instead of releasing pain, they drown in it. They replay her words, stalk her social media, compare themselves to the man she chose instead. This is not detachment, it is slavery. And every day spent in that prison is another day stolen from your future. Seneca reminds us, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Most of the pain you feel is not what happened. It's the endless story you tell yourself about what happened. Break that story, and you break the chains. So how do we redirect pain into growth? By using it as fuel. Pain is energy. Instead of letting it crush you, you transmute it. You take that restless, burning fire inside you and pour it into action, into training, into building, into creating, into mastering yourself. History is full of men who turned heartbreak into greatness. Warriors who sharpened their swords not because life was kind to them, but because life was cruel. Philosophers who wrote timeless wisdom not because they were comfortable, but because they were broken and needed to heal. The question is, will you let pain weaken you, or will you let it forge you? Practical steps for redirecting pain. Physical discipline. Train your body. Sweat. Strain. Push yourself. Pain leaves your heart when you challenge your muscles. Mental discipline. Write. Reflect. Journal your thoughts as Marcus Aurelius did. Spill the chaos onto paper, and you will see clearly again. Creative discipline. Build something. A skill, a project, a craft. Transform the energy of longing into the energy of creation. Spiritual discipline. Meditate. Sit in silence. Observe the rise and fall of your emotions without judgment. This is how detachment is born. When you live this way, pain stops being a curse. It becomes a compass. It shows you where your wounds are and where your work begins. Detachment is the highest form of strength. Imagine walking through life not numb, not bitter, but free. Imagine caring for people deeply, yet never being enslaved by their approval. Imagine loving fully, yet standing firm if that love is not returned. That is the Stoic way. Marcus Aurelius said, "To love only what happens, what was destined, no greater harmony." True detachment is not resisting reality, it is embracing it. If she doesn't want you, then that is part of destiny. To fight it is madness. To accept it is peace. So the next time you feel pain, don't run, don't beg, don't crumble. Instead, breathe. Say to yourself, "This pain is not here to destroy me. It is here to shape me." Because pain, when embraced with discipline, becomes strength. And detachment, when practiced daily, becomes freedom. We've walked through pain. We've faced rejection. We've cut contact, reclaimed our worth, built discipline, and learned detachment. But there's one final step, the most important of all. Because what good is detachment if your life remains empty? What good is independence if you're not walking towards something greater? The final step is this: live with purpose. Build a life so full, so meaningful, that you never chase again. Let me ask you something. Why do men chase women who don't want them? Why do they beg? Why do they cling? Why do they crumble? Because deep down, their lives lack fullness. They make a woman the center of their universe because they have no universe of their own. But a man with purpose, he doesn't chase because he's already chasing something far greater. His mission, his calling, his vision for life. Marcus Aurelius said, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions. If your ambition is only to be loved by someone else, your worth remains small, fragile, and at the mercy of others. But if your ambition is to build, to grow, to serve, to master yourself, then your worth expands beyond measure." Purpose is the cure to desperation. It is the anchor that keeps you steady when emotions try to pull you under. It is the light that guides you when rejection casts shadows. So how do you find purpose? You don't wait for it to appear, you create it. Look at your strengths. What do you have that the world needs? Look at your passions. What sets your soul on fire when you do it? Look at your struggles. What pain have you endured that could become wisdom for others? Combine these, and you will find a mission worth living for. Epictetus told his students, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. This is the heart of purpose. Decide who you want to become. Then build your life in alignment with that vision day by day, habit by habit, choice by choice." When you live this way, you no longer chase love, you attract it. You no longer beg for attention, you command respect. You no longer fear rejection, because your fulfillment is not dependent on another person's approval. But purpose doesn't just give you strength, it gives you peace. Because when your days are filled with meaningful work, discipline, learning, growth, creation, service, you have no time to dwell on who ignored you. You're too busy building, too busy becoming. Imagine this version of yourself. You wake up early with a plan. You train your body with intensity. You study and sharpen your mind. You pour yourself into your craft, your career, your art, your mission. You live each day as if it matters, because it does. Now tell me, does this man beg for texts that never come? Does this man crumble when one woman turns away? No, he keeps walking, because his life is bigger than her rejection. His mission is larger than her attention. His purpose is stronger than his pain. And here lies the great paradox. When you stop chasing, when you fill your life with purpose, people begin to notice. Women who once ignored you may look again. Friends may respect you more. Opportunities may open. But by then, you are so grounded in your mission that you don't need any of it to validate you. Seneca once wrote, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Rejection was what happened to you. Purpose is how you react. And when you live with purpose, you transform rejection from a wound into a weapon. So here's the truth. Detachment is not about being cold. It's not about building walls around your heart. It's about building a life so vast, so meaningful, that the absence of one person cannot shake your foundation. Live for something higher than attention. Live for something greater than validation. Live for discipline, for wisdom, for growth, for service, for your mission. Because once you do, you will discover a freedom that no rejection can touch, a peace that no heartbreak can steal, and a strength that no one can take away. And in that moment you will finally realize you never needed her to complete you. You only needed to reclaim yourself.